All right. Okay. I'd forgotten to start recording. Okay. So what am I saying? You have to be very practical in what you are doing. There are so many people that have got ideas, great ideas. If I was going to give an opportunity to ask each and every one of you, you've got very, very brilliant ideas. And someone said the place where you find quite a lot of wealthy, it is actually the grave, because there are so many people that go to the grave with ideas. Now, what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is you should have practical ideas. You should have real ideas. You should have ideas that are applicable, and at the same time, you should have ideas that are accessible to the people that need them. So if you have an idea, you should get to the point that you have to put that idea into practice. Many of us have got ideas. Many of us have got ideas that we haven't actually even tried to implement. Many of us have got ideas that are so great they can solve so many problems, but the challenge is that we have not been able to extract them into reality. Did you know that it is a skill to be able to extract something from your mind into reality? You should get to the point whereby you can extract things from your mind into reality. Like, for example, when I wanted to start Organic Farm 7, it was all an idea. I shared with people. I told them, this is what I want to do. Some of them believed me, some of them didn't believe me. But when I brought that idea into reality, people have actually started believing that it is possible. When I started growing grapes, people said it is not possible. That was an idea in my head. I thought it could work out, but I brought that into reality. So number one, if you want to stop running your farm from the pocket, you should be practicing ideas that are really working at your farm. So it shouldn't be something that you're actually just thinking about, but it should be something that is workable. It should be something that is real, something that people can see, and something that people can actually appreciate, and something that people can actually access. Failure to that, you are going to be pumping in money into your farm, but at the end of the day, you're not going to be making anything. So run with practical ideas. Be very, very practical. Don't just be a person who says things that he doesn't do. You have to be a person that says things and does them. And you can't run a profitable farm remotely. It's like you are driving or you're running a company from the back end. You have to be in the forefront. You have to be practical. You have to take it serious, and people should take you serious. If you don't take yourself serious, no one is going to take you serious. So be very, very, very practical. If you want to make money with your farm activities, be very, very, very practical. The world needs practical ideas. And one thing that may shock you is, you see, as in for me, I did not study agriculture, but I do agriculture. And the funny thing is that the guys that went to actually study agriculture, and they know more theories than I do, they come back to consult from me on how you can do certain things. So I'm more practical than just the theories. So I've come to learn agriculture by leading, by experimenting and consulting. I'm not saying that I don't know about agriculture, but I didn't go to school to learn the theories about agriculture, but I'm a person that is actually more practical. And my team and many people don't know, when I say something, I'm going to do it, and I mean that I'm going to do it, because I believe being practical speaks volume than just having an idea. So when you speak and build evidence, the rest becomes history. So number one, be very, very practical. Don't be just a person who says things and you don't do what you're saying. It doesn't work, and it will never work. So be practical, have real ideas, and have practical ideas. That is really going to help you get to another level. Then secondly, one of the reasons why we farmers don't make money from what we do is because we are very ignorant. We are very ignorant about what we do. We don't know what we are doing. We don't know our businesses. We don't know our stuff. Like, you see, when someone was going to ask you a question, like let's say, for example, if you are doing chickens, if someone asks you, why are you doing chickens? Many of us, it's because we saw someone doing it. But when you venture into a business, whatsoever business, you should have a lot to know about that business. Actually, you should have that knowledge before you even start. Be very, very knowledgeable. You see, knowledge is power, and not just knowledge, but practical knowledge. So when you know your stuff inside out, when you ask me about organic farming, I know it inside out. At least I know what I'm supposed to know for now. But that doesn't mean that I know everything. I know what I'm supposed to know right now. In the space of 2 years, I've gotten 3 medals on being a very competent organic farmer. In 3 years, 3 medals. That's not a joke. So know your stuff quite very, very well. When you know, like, for example, let me give you a very simple example. If you have been following us, the way I explain about grapes, someone who is buying gets to buy also the knowledge that we are selling. So I give confidence to the clients because I know my stuff quite very well. Right now, I have people that have registered for this training about, we have got 50. Now, each one is paying 150 kwacha. Now, you're not coming here because I just mentioned that. It's because you have seen that, okay, this person seems to know something about what he's doing. So knowledge brings in money to you. Like at the end of the day, this, I know it may frustrate some of you. At the end of this session, I would have made 7,000 kwacha. And I'm going to talk for an hour. That was the agreement. I'm going to speak for an hour. So it's like I've compressed my 5 years of organic knowledge and running a farm as a business. Then I compress it into an hour and I'm getting a 7,000. From that 7,000, you put in the communication and everything. So everything can be covered like in what's this, in 1,000, like the Zoom meeting, because we are not using a free platform, with the free platform we've paid. So everything is coming and I'm making a profit of about 6,000. That is because of the knowledge that I have in what I'm talking about. These are the things that actually work. Like right now, as I'm speaking, I'm making money, but you can also replicate this and make money, because looking at the 20 million Zambians, it's not everyone who knows what you may know. And here's one thing that I learned actually. It says, you see, everything that anyone knows, they learned. So meaning you can also learn. So be very, very knowledgeable. Then, I can say quite a lot about knowledge because I've seen it transform my life. I've seen it help me quite a lot. So, and maybe let me share this with you, how I actually get to know things. One, I interact with the best minds. You can't grow by interacting with people that are ignorant. So interact with people that know the stuff that you want to know. So I interact with the best organic farmers. I go to the best farms. I just do my level best to make sure that I gather enough knowledge. Then when you want to make money, you should understand that there's a short-term project. That is a project that actually can give you money. Like, let's say, for example, within 3 months, that's maybe you're growing vegetables, you're growing soybeans. These are cash crops that bring money within a short period of time. Then there's mid-term that actually helps you to grow your business. Like there's first short-term project, there's mid-term project, and also long-term project. Now, you should understand that when you're doing a short-term project like growing vegetables, that is not a project you should actually do forever, like you've come to stay. That is a project that helps you get started. Then the mid-term is something that you can actually use to build your company to get to maybe a more stable stage. Then there's a long-term perspective. This is where now you are looking at the long-term perspective of your business. What is the vision of your future, of your business, of your farm? Where do you want to get in the next 10 years? Where do you want to be in the next 20 years? One of the challenges is that we look too short. We're on a short-term project for a very long period of time, and that actually shouldn't be the case. We have to be very, very progressive. We should be people that actually that are thinking of long-term project. So you start short-term to raise money to get to the next level, but we should have a bigger picture in the long run. So one of the challenges is that maybe you start with a short-term project and you are there for 10 years, 15 years, you're doing the same, you're on the same level, doing the same crop, and the farm is not progressing. Things have changed, you're on the same level. So you should be so quick to change to get to the other level. That happens when you have knowledge about your business. Like I'll give an example. We do seedlings. And one thing that I know is that this business is being done by many people right now, but we are progressing. We have a plan in place, and we're not going to be doing the same thing forever. We are going to be progressive because we have knowledge about our industry. We know what the future holds. We know where we're headed to. We know which product to sell. Like right now, I know that the fertilizers have gone. I know that the fertilizers have gone. The price of fertilizers have gone high. So we are pushing in the fertilizer projects. We are pushing in the fertilizer plants because we know that this is what the people need at the moment. You see, so we understand our business quite very well, and it becomes quite easy. Then, you see, sometimes it's not about what you don't have. It is about how you utilize what you have. Like, listen to, there's a lady that I visited. She has just planted lawn. She has planted grass. And on that grass, she holds events. So in the past 2 months, she made something like 60,000 just from having grass. You see? Then secondary, like I personally was given about 900,000 kwacha in assets from Misika. And after I asked them, why did they give me that money? They said, no, it is because of the knowledge that actually you have in this industry. Now, what am I saying? Knowledge. As a farmer, you should be knowledgeable about what you're doing. If it is chickens, you have to be very, very knowledgeable about the chickens. And you see, when you have that knowledge, then eventually you can actually start consulting with other people. They pay you to consult. We do consult as Organic Farm 7. You can be training people. You've seen that Organic Farm 7, we conduct trainings. We share knowledge. It's just knowledge. And if there's an industry that has got quite a lot of money, it is the industry of public speaking. So you start about public speaking. You start about how you can present things. Just by sharing knowledge, you get to make money as a farmer. So your farm shouldn't just be a farm where you're selling tomatoes and rape and cabbages. It should be a farm where people have got access to knowledge which you've gathered over the years and maybe over the months. So knowledge is power, and knowledge is going to help you run a farm. Like, just as sometimes I just get to be so frank. Like right now, the business of selling seedlings tends to go low during June and the winter. So I know that this is the time that I conduct trainings and I make money from trainings. You see, I know how to balance up the business very well because I have knowledge about it. So knowledge is power, and knowledge is going to help your farm to get to another level as a farmer. So master your art quite very well in whatsoever you are doing as a farmer. Then the other way to make money as a farmer is through actually solving problems. Many of us are not solving problems with what we are doing. Our farms are just ordinary farms. We should get to the point whereby we are solving real problems. Don't follow the majority. Don't follow the crowd. When you see people, I know there's money in chickens, you run and pick, you start growing chickens. No, there's like last year, there's money in soybeans. A lot of people grew soybeans. And there's a very high possibility that there's going to be the low soybeans prices. And people are going to be using this very message of high soybeans fertilizer in the next high soybeans prices in the next 5 years. And by that time, the prices would have flooded. Look at maize. A lot of people are growing maize. Maize in Zambia is not a problem. As long as we've got enough landfall, we'll never have a problem with maize, because an average farmer believes that the only way of doing farming in Zambia is growing maize. We can draw lessons from Corona. If you saw what happened during Corona, there was a shortfall of masks. the hand sanitizers. That was a problem. And many people made money from Corona because they were offering solutions. Like right now, there's a challenge with fertilizers because of the war. The prices of fertilizers are skyrocketing. They are going very high. Now, what am I saying? Pick a problem, then offer a solution. There are so many problems in farming. There's a problem with maybe seeds. There's a problem with what people can venture into. There's a problem of diseases. There are problems of armyworms. So as a farmer, pick a problem. Maybe there's a problem. There's a shortage of maybe onion. There's a shortage of what is this? There's a shortage of maybe anything, any problem. Like I'll give an example. Us, we have identified problems in education. Many farmers are not educated in terms of how to run their farms. People want to do farming, but they don't know how to do it. So we have seen that as an opportunity. And nextly, we have identified a problem in fertilizers. So what are we going to do? We are selling fertilizer plants. We have identified the problem with irrigation. What are we doing? We're offering solutions with irrigation. We have identified the problem in, let's say, for example, support. Farmers don't have access to practical support on the ground. We are getting on the ground. No wonder you see us running up and down, visiting farms, helping farms. And when those farmers win, they recommend us to other farmers. So what am I saying? Have a problem that you're solving. Don't just do farming for the sake of farming. If you want to grow, let's say, for example, you want to start growing onion, you should ask yourself, what problem are you going to be solving with onion? Don't just look for money. You shouldn't be chasing money, but you should be attracting money by solving problems. And the world is looking for people that can solve problems, not just people that can do things just for the sake of doing them. So find a problem and solve it using farming. If there's a problem with nutrition, grow nutritious food, and you see people are going to be flocking to you because you have a solution that they are looking for. Like our road is quite very bad. It's not very friendly, but we have a lot of people that come to visit us and they buy plants. They come for consultancy, they come for trainings because they have seen that we can help them solve their problems. And they don't come for free. They pay to do whatsoever they are doing. They pay their transport, they pay their meals, they pay target, their time and everything. At the end of the day, they still also give us some money so that we can continue running our farm in a sustainable way. Okay. I think that is going to help you when you do those things. Okay. Then on the other side, there's need of growth. You see, when was that? Last year. It's very possible to start a business that is flourishing quite very well, but one of the things that actually can damage it is growth. You can have so many customers than what you can actually service. So you should know that apart from not just having money as a farm, you can also be destroyed by growth. So you have to grow so that you can meet the demand. Then secondly, you have to be consistency. This is one of the problems. You are building a business and the business is not actually what is this now? Okay, I'll read these comments later on, but I'm sure we're on the same page with everyone. So because when you're writing and I'm talking, sometimes I can get confused. Okay, so you have to be consistent. What I mean consistent, you have to be doing the same thing until it works. If it doesn't work, you leave it. So what am I saying? Some of us, we've been keeping on changing farming businesses. Let's say, for example, this month you're doing chickens, next month you're doing rape, the other month you're doing okra. People come and they see that you're not consistent, then they stop trusting you. You can't build integrity. You can't build trust if you're not consistent with what you are doing. So when you are consistent, it is going to help you make money and actually going to make more money. So like, for example, right now, I've been on the stage for the past 5 years. There are people that have known me for the past 3 years and they've never bought a single thing from us, but they are buying now because they have seen us that we are consistent. There are people that have been doing no business with us for the past 2 years, but because they have seen us that we are consistent, they are able to do business with us today. And there's other people that have actually been buying from us maybe for the past 2 years, and they have recommended us to people that have bought even more than them because they have seen that we are actually consistent. And right now, in line with what we are doing, number one, we have grown. We just started with seedlings, but through seedlings, we're able to do consultancy, we're able to install fertigation system, we're able to make essential oils, we are doing agriculture tourism, we're doing mentorship and training. So we are growing, but at the same time, consistent. These things that we are doing, they are within the cycle of what we are doing. So we're not doing consultancy in tomatoes, we're not doing consultancy in maybe bricklaying and all those things that happen on the farm, but we have focused in organic farming and we're doing it in line with those things. So if you want to make money as a farmer, check your history. Are you really consistent with what you're doing? You have to be very consistent and you have to keep on growing if you want to survive and if you want to make money as a farmer. Because if you don't do that, your farm is not going to be progressive. It's like a child is on the same height, maybe it's 1 meter high for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years. As a parent, you have to get worried. You see, you have to get worried if your child is not progressing. So as our age is advancing, as our age is adding on, we're not the same each and every day. So we also have to be growing and we have to be consistent. If you are darker, your name is going to be darker until you die. So our farms, when you pick on a business using the knowledge that you have, you're solving a problem that you understand. And the problems we should be solving, they shouldn't be past problems, they should be future problems. Like, for example, we've started doing the issue of herbs because we have seen that the world is going towards healthy. They want natural health. We've gone towards organic fertilizers. The world is going natural. The world needs these things that are more natural because of the issue of climate change, the issues of more healthy plants. So that is the future, and we are preparing for the future. Now, I'm not saying that you should be a copycat whereby you're copying things without understanding. If you're going to do what we are doing, my advice to you is that you should gather enough knowledge. And those that have interacted with me, you know quite very well that I'm not stingy with information. I'll give you the information. The way you use it is up to you. Because what I want at the end of the day, I don't want to be the richest person in the world, but what I want to do is I want to help as many people as possible. And those people, I want them actually to do bigger and greater things than me. That I'm 100% okay with that. If I can help you become a better person than the way you are, and if you make more money than I'm making, that is absolutely very, very much okay with me. Because I'm looking at what mark am I going to leave when I die? How am I going to touch the lives of the people? Because the more we help each other, the more we're going to build a powerful and actually a greater nation as Zambia, and even as a continent and the world at large. So consistency and growth is extremely very, very, very important in line with what you're doing. So
can I make a comment?
Yes, madam.
Yeah, I think the whole thing of consistency is fine, okay. But I think that a lot of us, the trouble that we're finding is that in as much as you want to be consistent, you just can't find the market.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yes. So for me, I would want to be consistent and I'll grow. Even if I say, okay, fine, I'm growing coriander or dill.
Okay.
And then you just find that you can't, like, even the people that bought it at the first time don't want it the second time.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
Okay. No, that's a very powerful question. Okay, maybe before I go to the next slide, what I wanted to finish then, but I think that is important so that I can highlight some things. Okay. So when we talk about consistency, is you have to be consistent with understanding. I'll give an example. A very simple example of maybe mobile phones. There's a time when there was Nokia. There's a time when there was BlackBerry. There's a time when there was different types of mobile phones, but some of them that are phased out because of lack of consistency and growth. So here's one fact. When you are growing dew, that's an example you've given. The fact of the matter that we always have people that need dew. So the question is, how do you position yourself so that you become the first priority that people should buy from you? So that is one thing that you have to look at. Then when you go to buy phones, no matter how many varieties of phones are available there, you always have a first priority. You always have a first priority. Now the question you should be asking yourself, how do you make yourself the first priority? You see, so that's one thing that I'm going to share. I'll share something in the next slide where you have to differentiate yourself so that you can be on top of the game, because there are so many people that are doing what you are doing. But when you do what you are doing with knowledge, when you do what you're doing, you're solving a problem, you find that it becomes quite very easy to be consistent and having a bigger picture and a long-term perspective. And I said, when you are solving a problem, make sure that you pick a future problem. So what you are doing shouldn't be something that is going to end tomorrow. It should be something that should be a problem for the next maybe 10, 20 years. But at the same time, if that problem is no longer there, meaning you have to switch, but at least your switching shouldn't be very different from your previous field. And if you want, you can switch to something, but the principle still remains the same. Whatsoever you pick on to do, you have to be consistent. Let me give an example. Like, I'm a computer engineer. I used to make websites. So when I studied the market, when I came to understand that Zambians don't appreciate technology at the level that it is at, I decided to switch on to something that actually makes a lot of sense, because it is solving a problem that is a current problem. Now I moved into agriculture because I realized that there are so many problems that have to be solved in agriculture. I don't know if that is, but I'm sure I'm going to add some things when I get to the next slide. So let me just do the next slide, then I'm going to entertain questions. We'll come back to this slide then so that you can ask questions based on what I was actually talking about. Madam Stella.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I'll add on something that is coming next here, where you have to differentiate yourself. Okay. So
okay.
Yeah,
but we can't see the slides.
You can't see the slide.
No, you haven't done the slideshow.
No, it is from my end is showing. So you people are not seeing the slide.
No, you haven't. We haven't been seeing the slides. It's just on the first one.
So there is nothing you're seeing there.
Yeah,
there's just the same one, developing a sustainable farm.
Oh, sorry.
Slides are showing on this side. For us to see the slides, you have to do a slideshow.
Okay.
We are still at the same slide, the first one since you started.
Oh, so are you able to see now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we can see now.
Yeah, sorry. Forgive me. Okay. You are able to see now, eh?
Yes, we can see it now, because now you've put 01 farm setup.
Yeah, sorry. I thought you are when I said, are you able to see the words? Yeah, I'm very, very sorry. So there's someone who actually wrote a message here. But you can see all the 4 components, huh?
Yeah, now we can see them now. That's the what you're beaming is 01 farm setup.
Okay, yeah.
And then you've got, yeah, so that's what we can see.
So are you able to see be practical?
Yeah, be practical, pick a problem, knowledge and grow and be consistent. Yeah, so we can see that now.
Yeah. Sorry. So I was speaking to myself, but at least you are taking some notes, eh?
Not really. We're gonna need you to send us all the what's this, the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, so I thought maybe I'm talking, these things is whereby they're happening on your side and you think they're happening everywhere. Okay, so the other thing that we have to do as farmers is we have to learn to differentiate ourselves. So what I mean differentiating yourself is you should be unique in a certain way. you shouldn't be doing what everyone is doing. So me, when I decided to capitalize on organic farming, because I realized that there are few people that are doing it, then the crops that I picked, if you have seen, I chose what the majority believe doesn't work. I picked on grapes. And even though I was going to stop growing grapes now, I've made enough money from grapes. And I can still see that we are getting to another level. The level that we're getting, we want to get commercial. And when we come back with grapes, trust me, we're going to we are going to be very, very competitive. I don't think we're going to be, we have competitors, because there's a book that I read called Blue Ocean Strategy, and I've been using it quite a lot in my farming. It's called Blue Ocean Strategy, making you make competition become irrelevant because of the innovations that you're innovating. So you have
Can you
to
just spell that? Can you spell it?
Blue Ocean Strategy.
Blue Ocean.
Strategy, yes, Blue Ocean Strategy.
Okay.
Yeah. So why you have to differentiate yourself is, if you do what everyone is doing, you get what everyone is getting. Like, I'll give an example. Like, if you have seen how we are doing organic farming, even just farming, we have differentiated ourselves from an ordinary farmer. Like, one thing that I'll never do is I'll never take my products to an open market. That one, I've just made it very clear in my mind. If I need to make money, I have to find my own customers. And when I find a customer, that one becomes my customer for life. And I have to make sure that I nurture them. I have contact with them. I learn what they need and what they don't need. So differentiating yourself is quite versatile. And is quite vast. So what you have to understand about differentiating yourself is what makes customers pick you than picking your neighbor. So you have to be different in a certain way. One, the taste of your product should be different. The appearance, the packaging, the way you deliver the information, the way you help your customers. Just make sure that you make yourself different from what an ordinary farmer is doing. And here's the good news. You don't have to be different from others 100%. You just need maybe 1% difference. 1% difference is a difference, and it's going to help you make more money. Like, many people are doing farming, but the difference between us and other farmers, we are doing organic farming. Just that is actually differentiating ourselves from others. So let's say, for example, you are growing lettuce. If an average lettuce farmer waits for the customers to go to their fields to get the lettuce, you can differentiate yourself by delivering your lettuce to the customers. So, and what happens actually, you don't pay the cost of delivery. The customers themselves are going to pay the cost of delivery. You see, it's whereby you just understand your business quite very well. We do free delivery to downtown every Thursday. We don't pay the money. The money that we actually do the delivery from is from the actual plants that we sell. But that convenience of delivering to the doorstep of the client, it makes a lot of sense to the client. So when you are doing business, you have to get into the mind of the person who is giving the money, who is the customer. What do they need? So you see, like right now I'm doing a training. My target is not the people that don't have money. My target is the people that are working and they have money, but they want to do farming. So what do I know? Okay, the convenience of these people for them to get this knowledge is Zoom meeting. You see, so they make a payment. I use their money to buy the bundles and do everything. But at the same time, they pay me, and I also get paid at the end of the day. So I'm not saying this to frustrate you to say you are doing nothing. I'm saying you are doing the right thing. This is how you have to think as a farmer. Farming is not just about digging and doing all that. You have to farm with your mind. So think and see, these people that are called customers are the ones that have money. How can I differentiate myself from an average farmer so that I can be able to make money from my farm? So I'm giving you an example. So you have to get into the mind of the farmer. Think of what if a customer wants, then do that, because a customer is your boss, is the one who pays you. So when you differentiate yourself, you find that as a farm, you're going to be making more money than an average farmer. So that is one thing that you can do in different ways based on the business that you're doing. You can panel beat this information and let it fit well to you. Okay, so like you remember very well, there's a time we are selling grapes. Instead of selling them in the potting bags, we were selling them in a basket. And people thought that the basket was quite very expensive, but actually it was just like a promotion. The money to buy the basket was coming from the very plant. We could be able to secure a basket, but we packaged our plants in a little bit different way so that we can attract customers, and customers liked it. Maybe some of you bought those grapes that were actually packaged in a basket. Is there anyone who bought those grapes in a basket here? Maybe just one. Is there anyone who bought the time when we are selling the grapes? Yes, Madam Basheva.
Yes, I did. I bought grapes from you, and they were delivered at downtown. They are doing well. We've harvested.
So here's a question I want to ask you so that others maybe may draw a lesson. You are my client. So the question I'm going to ask you is, what made you buy those grapes that were in a basket? Because there are other people that are selling grapes also.
The idea of the basket sounded good.
And you know the funny thing,
but really I was looking for grapes, but then when it was packaged in a basket, I said, oh wow, this is something nice.
You see, and the funny thing is of fruit, our grapes, like the quality is quite very good. So the thing is, we got into the mind of the customer, then thought of what a customer would want. Then we say, okay, let's try out this new thing. You see, and we made quite a number of sales from that, and that helped the farm grow and actually make money. Because like on a weekly basis, I used to sell like even up to 11,000 in a week. You see, that's not a joke. If you are making 11,000 in a week, meaning in 4 months, in 4 weeks, you're making about 44,000. So what am I trying to say? Differentiate yourself as a farmer. Don't do what every Jim and Jack is doing. Add innovation, add creativity. Let us not do farming the ordinary way. Then on the other side, you have to be bored. You know, business is a battlefield. There's a series there's a podcast that I actually watched called Business Wars. This is where you talk about how these other businesses are phasing out. When we see business people doing business, like the Coca-Colas, the Ford, all these motor businesses, the mobile phone businesses, behind the scenes, there's serious war. So you have to be bored. You should know that when you are doing business, you're not maybe talking to your mother-in-law or maybe your father-in-law, whereby you're trying to show, no, please, people. You have to be bored. Business is serious. So when you step out, you should know that you're getting to a battlefield. So you have to be very, very, very courageous. You have to be very bold. You have to fight as a man and as a woman. You have to fight like a lion. Though you may not be the strongest, but you have to be bold. Like, I'll give an example. Me, when I got on the scene in farming, I had all these bullies that were threatening me. You can't say that, you can't do that. And they said, no, that's your business. So I knew what I was doing. I came out bored, and I'm still bored, and I mean business. I'm not here for jokes. I mean serious business. When I say I want to do something, I'm going to do it. The only thing that I know I can't do, there's only one thing, and that is what God has said no. And the other thing that I can't do is what I don't want to do. Whatsoever I want to do, I'm going to do it. When I say I want to speak, I'm going to speak. When I say I'm going to have a meeting, I'm going to have it. No matter what challenges are going to be there. Because one thing I know is that all the challenges that we have in this world, as long as it is facing a human being, it can be solved by a human being. But there are certain problems where we need the help of God, but God is always with us. That's a fact. But there's a part that we have to play, and you have to play. Now, let me tell you one fact. Sometimes we Christians, we tend to be so Christian than Christ. I don't know, but maybe we have a Muslims also. So, but what I'm trying to say is, no, God will help. God will help. God is already helping. But there's a part that you have to play. God will not sell your vegetables on your behalf. but though he can influence, but the point is we have to cooperate with God, we Christians. And we should know that there's a part that we have to play, and we have to play it so diligently. We have to do our part so diligently because ultimately God wants us to succeed in our farming. Len, you see, as you do farming, one of the challenges is that you are broke as a farmer and you are associating yourself with a farmer that is broke at the same time. So it's whereby you are not doing something that I can actually, you're not associating yourself with people that can help you get to the other level. So as a farmer, if you want to make money, interact with farmers that are making money. Go and learn from them. Tap into their market, tap into their network. Don't be scared of them. They are human beings like you. Find a way always to interact with farmers that are doing something that makes sense. Go to them, visit them, talk to them, ask them what they do to make that money. And you see that you're going to learn valuable lessons. Like me, when you talk about business, there are people that I look up to. Like I look up to Daniel Kabane, I look up to Dumisani, there is Craig Harding. I've got different friends that are doing quite very well in farming. So I go to them, I learn from them, I learn business principles. What am I saying? As a farmer, you cannot grow by interacting with other broke farmers. You should interact with farmers that are doing quite very fine because they are going to help you to get to another level. There's no way someone who is below you, though I'm not saying we should shun away from them, but what I'm saying, we have to learn from the best. We have to learn from farmers that we admire. That is going to change our mindset. That is going to help us do things on a different level. Like, for example, when I visit Daniel Kabane, when I live there, my head actually mostly is like spinning. It's like being stretched because there are ideas that he throws into my mind when we discuss. It is that level of conversation that really builds me so that I can be a better version of myself. And let me tell you one thing, you cannot build a farm that is better than you. Your farm is a direct representation of the level of your mind. Now that may be offensive, but it's the truth. So your farm is an extract of what is in your mind. So when you get your mind right, you start doing things a different way because the Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. So when you look at your farm, if your farm is doing nothing, if your farm is not progressive, then you have to know that there's something wrong somewhere of which it is supposed to be corrected. Now, you see, I'm not here to do what? To tell you good things. I'm here to tell you the truth, the whole truth. So I say that you're going to be upset with me, you're going to be offended with me, but the fact of the matter is you have to get to that level. We have to make sure that we feed our mind with right content. We have to read. I read a lot. I read articles, I watch videos, I listen to people, I read books, I listen to podcasts when I'm moving with the vehicle. But what am I saying? Learn from the best. Always keep on learning, keep growing. That is going to help you as a farmer. Then lastly,
which is good, Abel. I think learning from anybody is a very good thing, but that there are like 3 or 4 factors that may inhibit somebody from doing that. One is the fact that sometimes we have to pay for that information, and people may not have the means to pay. That's one. 2, I think, and this is the most important, actually, I should have put it as 1. I think that, you know, like for me, somebody like me, and you know, I've been on your back. I've been on you, Abel, bring me this, I need lavender, and you're bringing for me all the time. And you're working with me. But there are not many people who are like you, who are willing and able to give, you know, information and all of that. So it's very difficult. But for me, I can tell you that looking at you, looking at Mpenga Kabundi, I've been able to do something which I never thought I would do, but just from learning from you literally on Facebook. But I just think that we may need to have some more structured approaches to how people are learning. So if we say, oh, this is how you do bananas, then you have a structured approach. this is how you can grow rape or Chinese cabbage or cabbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, I think in as much as, yes, you're saying that, yes, learn from other people, but people are not willing to give information. And even when they do give it, maybe that they are charging for that information. And a lot of farmers may not have those resources.
Okay.
So that's my 2 cents worth.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me just write down. You like access to information. Okay. So just give me a minute. I'm coming. Let me drink some water. You know, when you talk, you have to drink. So just give me a minute. I'm coming. Please don't leave the classroom before I tell you to leave. I'm coming.
Okay, so Mr. Abel, as you are drinking water, I was just asking that maybe we could finish
No,
the
I'm drinking from outside.
presentation.
I'm coming.
Yes, how's the class? Yeah.
Okay. The teacher is back. Some people are making noise. Okay. So I've seen the hands. I've seen the hands. I think
Okay,
we
no,
can.
my point was to say that maybe we finish the presentation instead of
Yeah.
interrupting the presentation. Let's finish and then have the question and answer session at the end, or comments at the end.
Yeah, so that's what we want to do. Thank you so much for that. I've seen the hands. Let me just talk about marketing and sales. Marketing and sales. Don't worry, we're going to attend to you, Mr. Sakara. I've seen the hand. Okay. Lastly, this is one of the most important neglected part in farming. So there's the part of marketing and sales. Now, here's one thing you have to understand. You see, farming is a business. Your land is just a platform where you're doing that business. I don't know, there's somehow I think we don't understand what farming is. We think farming is just growing maize, whereby if most of you, if you were to ask yourselves, how much money you putting, compare if you can do a basic accounting, no wonder as a farmer, you should be using maths, how much money you put and how much you get. Many of us would make money if we didn't even have farms because we spend a lot of money on our farms. The question you should be asking yourself, you look at 1 year of your farm, how much money have you put in and how much have you gotten? It's because we don't understand what farming is. Farming is just a platform where you do business, of which that business you should understand investments, returns and everything, how much you inject in, how much you get in, profit and losses, and all those things. When you don't understand those, you'll be just throwing money in the pit, like it will just be going just like that. So when you put all the pieces that I've shared with you together, trust me, your farm will get to a very different level. Like me, Organic Farm 7, my family knows this is a business place. When you come here, it is a business place. What we are doing is business. What I'm doing right now, this is business because I'm going to make a profit at the end of the day. I've put in some money. I'm selling intellectual property, my knowledge. What you are paying for here is not maybe the plants or anything. You're paying for the knowledge that I have and the experience that I have in farming. So what am I saying? We have to get to that point whereby we understand that farming is serious business. And that's not just business, but serious business. Okay, on marketing. So marketing is publicizing what you're doing. We shouldn't be running our farms like a private affair, like it's in the bedroom. We are hiding things. We don't want people to know, you see, but we want to make money at the end of the day. So when you are running your farm, as a business, if you want to make money, you have to make your farm become public. Me, I started making money from farming before I even had a farm, from the backyard. So the farm was in my head here, but I used to behave like I have got a farm. So I used to work on this small piece of land from the backyard, talk like I've got a very big farm. And one time actually I almost got in trouble because a TV station wanted to come and interview me. So when I saw that they pushed me so hard, I said, I'm not on my farm. I had people that wanted to come and visit me, but many people didn't know that I didn't have a farm, but I had the farm in my mind. So what am I saying? Marketing is whereby you publicize yourself. People get to know you. Let people know you. You understand? So like in Zambia, the question I'm going to ask, in Zambia, we've got 20 million people. From these 20 million people, how many people know you as a farmer? How many people know your farm? Because these are the people that have got the money. With us as Organic Farm 7, right now, our following is 38,000. 38,000 people plus know that Organic Farm 7 exists. And they know that it's a business. You people, because you know that Organic Farm 7 exists, you were able to pay your money. Before we even started the meeting, you paid the money in advance because you know that this farm exists. So when you look at your farm, or maybe some of you are going to start your farms, ask yourself a question. Is your farm well known? Is the business that you're doing well known? Let us not run our farms like public or side chick affairs. You know, a side chick is the person that you don't want, you know a side chick, I'm sure you know. It's someone you, like an affair you don't want people to know. It's a secret. You love it so much, but you don't want people to know. So if you want to make money in farming, make your farm go public. Make your transaction, your businesses go public. Sales. You know, if there's one thing that is going to bring you money is sales. You have to know how to sell as a farmer. If you don't know how to sell, then you'll be struggling. So you have to know how to sell. It's whereby you are selling your products and you're making money. So marketing is whereby you publicize. You say, no, there's this here. You see me, I create content like on a daily basis on Facebook, which is a free platform. I use a phone, capture things, talk. It's a free world. You can say anything that you want about certain things, and people have got their opinions. And by doing that, you get to learn. One person that actually helped me be very good on Facebook is Dr. Mpenga Kabundi. So when he saw that I had the passion, I had the love, but somehow I was ignorant on certain things. Sometimes you can be passionate, but ignorant. So what you should do is, he came and advised me on how I should talk. I shouldn't be strong on certain things. And other people helped me. Some, they criticized me. Me, I don't care about what people say sometimes. You know, when someone is worrying about words and all those things, people, they'll take it as if it's an English class. So what I'm trying to say is, you have to publicize yourself. And if there's an age where it is very easy to make money, it's this age. Like right now, in 1 hour, I'm going to make 6,000 straight. This is take home, 1,000 for data and these other things. Just having a meeting like this one online, but it is not something you wake up and just start doing. You have to be known through marketing, you see, and you should have something to share. That is knowledge. These are the things that I was talking about. So you see, like, let me give an example. I've got a problem with sharing the truth. I'll tell you the truth. We are living in a world that is filled with a lot of information, but many people are ignorant. We are living in a world that is filled with the information, but many people are ignorant. I made an essential oil machine of which many people think, I thought, and I knew you think it's very hard, but it's quite very easy. The materials are locally made, but when you want to buy it, it's quite very expensive knowledge. What am I saying? As a farmer, you should be able to sell. There are so many things that you can sell. You can sell a product, you can sell a service. Like us, we make money from trainings, we make money from consultants, we make money from irrigation installation, we make money from seedlings, we make money from herbs, from essential oils, because we market these things and we sell them. We make money from Organic Farm 7. We built a house which we started in November, and it is done now. It costed us 500 plus. That money was made from Organic Farm 7. Why am I sharing this with you? I'm telling you that it's possible to make money from farming. So about marketing, study marketing books. Go on YouTube. Don't go on YouTube and start watching cat and dogs, watching comedy and all these funny things. To me, that has got no room. It's up to you. If that is helping you improve in your life, if you're watching comedy, watching Z World helps you improve in life, that is okay. But I'm talking about me. I'm not saying you should do what I'm doing, but I'm telling you what helps me. When I go on YouTube, I search on how to market my products, how to be a good salesperson. You see? So I'm learning how to market. I'm learning how to be a good salesperson, how to close a sale. Maybe 10 principles about maybe being a good person. So selling is the art and is the heart of any business. There is no business that can survive without sales, marketing. So when you don't do these things, trust me, your business is not going to be progressive. Then on the other side, when you do your marketing, you're investing into the future. You have to be very strategic, you have to be aggressive, and you have to do a research about what you are doing. These are the things that work. You see, Facebook is a very powerful social media platform, but you have seen Mark Zuckerberg always advertising. When you're walking on the road, you find billboards. When you're on the TV, there are commercial breaks. On Facebook, there are advertisements. There are different things that are happening everywhere. People are marketing and selling. But many of you, of which you are farmers, I've got 42 people here. Many of you haven't seen your farms. I haven't seen your farms. I don't know what you're selling. I would love to buy things from you, but I don't know what you're selling. So what am I saying? There are enough people to sell to. We've got enough people to sell to. Just Zambia alone has got over 22 customers that are waiting for products. These people, they eat daily. These people, they need something from a farmer on a daily basis. The question is, you should be asking yourself, who is your customer? Then when you are marketing, you don't market to every Jim and Jack. Have a specific niche market. When you are advertising, you're marketing to everyone, then you're marketing to no one. Like, for example, me, my focus, I'm not marketing to everyone. I am just focusing on people that love organic farming, people that love nature, people that love to be solution-oriented. I love innovators. So that is my take. And I'm able to get money in those streams. And we only have a few customers that are able to give us quite enough money, but we are growing. So in a nutshell, as a farmer, be very aggressive in marketing, be consistent in marketing. Not whereby you post things maybe once in a year, you talk about things once in a year. When you sit next to me, we cannot move a long distance without me telling you about what I'm doing. And by the end of the day, you're going to love what I'm doing because I believe in what I'm doing. I'm going to market my products. If I don't do it, no one is going to do it on my behalf. So you see, there's a lot of things that we can talk about, but I think this will help you get started. I think at this point of time, and time has run out, but at least I've talked enough and I've highlighted. I think these are the things that have really helped us, and they're going to help you, I believe so. So at this point of time, we're going to allow questions. You raise your hand, we allow you to speak, then we can progress, we can close before that. Okay, we have got you, Kudizai, Madam Kamanga. So maybe you raise your hands, those who have got questions, so that I can take note. Then when I start answering the questions, it'll be, we can run in those lines. So when it will be first come, first serves. Madam Kamanga, you can ask your question.
Okay, thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
My contribution is not so much a question, but just a comment based on what somebody mentioned earlier, that you know, information is readily available, or rather it's not readily available, but people will probably require you to pay for them to share what they know. I strongly think that if you really want to make money out of any business, you should be willing to invest in knowledge as well. I don't think that anybody should expect people who've gathered knowledge over a certain time to just dish it out for free. We are here, we've paid money, and I think that in itself shows seriousness. So I think as we are putting down our costs, we should put a cost to knowledge gathering.
Yeah.
Because if we don't do that, it probably will not help us. And maybe by the time we want to correct issues, that's when we are paying even hefty amounts. So I think we should put a cost to knowledge acquiring as part of our investment if we want to go far. That's just my comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think that is, I've seen the Shelai. I'm going to come to you. Let me just add on to something. So to be honest, if you really want to be progressive as a farmer on the part of knowledge, you should pay for it. Because one thing that I know is, me, when I started farming, I knew that I didn't know much. I went to learn to someone who charged me 4,000 to learn for 24 hours. Now that 24 hours was split in days. But when I looked at the future, I knew that, okay, I'm investing in myself. Knowledge is something that is powerful. It can't be stolen from you. So it's true. It's not everyone who can give you free information. But the fact of the matter is we should be willing to spend on knowledge. And one thing that I know is, let's say, for example, when there is a funeral, when there's a funeral, even people that don't have money will find a way to go to the funeral. So what am I saying? If maybe there's someone who is sick in your family, or maybe your child is sick, no matter how broke you are, you find a way to get money. So one thing that I've learned in life is we will always spend money on what is very important to us. So if information is important to you, you always find a way to find money. But on the other side, there are people that are stingy. They don't give information the way it should come out. There are few, but if you find some who can help you, but there are always people that can actually help you out. And let me share with you a trick that you can actually have access to information. Like, for example, me, when I want to learn something from, you can even volunteer. Maybe you want to help out. So like the way I got to interact with Dumisani, I offered him a free website, and that opened up a lot of opportunities for me. He helped me with the books. He gave me his audio books. He gave me to manage his content, editing his videos, and I was learning by doing that. You can even go to a farm, say, no, I want to volunteer and anything, but there's always a way to gather information. I think that is true. In a world where we are living, even in watching videos, you have to pay data. But I think we always have something to get. So it's all about starting where you are with what you have. Okay. Then, Madam Sheila. Okay.
Sheila.
Okay.
Hi, Abel. Finally, I get to speak with you.
Thank you.
But thank you for the presentation. It's been very enlightening. It's something definitely that's appreciated, and we hope to have more of these learning from you, especially via Zoom, since for us to travel all the way from Malawi to Zambia to Kitwe, that's a pretty long trek. But this is a more affordable and appreciated platform to learn from. So my question really is, I've already started by just following you and what you have been sharing on Facebook. I've already started my banana farm. I've started on a very small plot. I'm just testing to see how the soil is going to, how it's going to grow with the soil that I have and the climate that we have here in Malawi, where I am here in Lilongwe. Okay. It's just a learning ground for this year, but for next year, I hope to grow bigger. So I'm going to take as many trainings that I'm going to get. But my focus really is on the organic farming, which is what I also want to focus on. Are you mixing this with permaculture?
Permaculture.
Yeah.
No. So what we can do is I saw even in your form. So what I'm going to do is I'll call you. I've seen your question is on the organic side. So I'm going to help you in a more detailed manner, of which I think here we can eat up the time for the other people. I'm sure I've gotten what I've said. So even after this meeting, I can call you. Then I can because that's a little bit personalized question, but I'll be very happy to help you out.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Madam Vivian. Vivian, you can unmute your mic.
Good evening, Abel.
Thank you. Good evening, madam.
Yes, I wanted to ask when you mentioned that we need to have short-term, mid-term, and long-term goals in farming.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, if you can get specific. So like, for example, I got on the short-term things like vegetables and maybe herbs, I guess. But do you have examples on mid-term and long-term?
Okay, yeah. Okay, let me give an example. Very good question. So short-term, we talk about something that can give you maybe time, money in 3 months. That is green beans. We talk about maybe broiler chickens. You talk about rape. You talk about tomatoes. You talk about something that can give you money within a short period of time. So mid-term, we talk about maybe starting from a year. That is, there are certain projects that can be mid-term and long-term, like papayas, they start fruiting within a year. Grapes, they start fruiting within a year. Bananas, they start fruiting within a year. Herbs, you can start making essential oil within a year. You talk about fertilizer plants within maybe 4 or 5 months. So it depends with the duration when that project can start giving you back the money. Then long term, we're talking about a project that can be there maybe for 20 years. Like let's say, for example, an orchard. An orange tree can be there for a very long period of time. An avocado tree can be there for a long period of time, and it will be giving you money for a very long period of time. You get a point? So it's all about looking at how long will this thing keep on giving me money. Like tomatoes, when you grow, after maybe 9 months, 12 months, you have to plant again. You keep on doing the same thing again and again. So, but a long-term project is a project whereby you invest in, then the only thing that is remaining is managing, but it will be there for a very long period of time.
All right, I get it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Madam Kandu. You can unmute the mic.
Oh, sorry. Well, I'm a very new person into farming.
Okay.
And even though I might say farming, I really haven't done much. I did some vegetables, a small portion last year. But what I would want from you, Mr. Hangomba, firstly, let me say I'm really happy to have had this opportunity to talk to you.
Thank
and
you.
to be in your class. And I hope to meet you.
Thank you.
I would love advice on how to go about with organic farming. The place where I'm at is in Lusaka West, and we have a lot of rock.
Okay. A lot of what?
That's rocks.
Oh my God, what a blessing.
It's a rocky place. Yeah, it's a rocky place. Our farm is about 10 acres, and only about 2 acres of that is arable.
Okay.
So I would like help and guidance on how best I can use land to produce for me and my family, and to grow wealthy from there. So that is why my other question is, how do I go about getting training from you? Like kind of like you hold my hand through it, maybe for the next 1 year or so, until I'm able to stand. I know I'll have to pay. We were talking about paying for knowledge and stuff like that, which I am willing to do. But I would like guidance from you on how I go about it. What do you have any products like that where you help guide someone who's just starting out?
Yeah.
Do you have any products for people like
Yeah,
me.
we offer consulting.
Able, sorry, able to disturb you.
Okay.
I think that my question is literally piggybacking on what she has said. I really want something more structured going forward so that we don't have ad hoc arrangements like this, but then how we're going to structure it where we can learn and then you say, oh, this time we'll do this, we'll do that. Thank you.
Okay.
Sorry for disturbing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. So I've taken note. So
Actually, maybe, sorry to cut you short. That is the route that I was also thinking of taking. So maybe there are many of us who feel like that. We may just maybe have to put up our hands so that you take note of that. Okay.
So then what I'm going to do is this. You see the number that you use to pay, that is my personal line. So what I don't want is sometimes people, they always send you information. So I'm going to have an organized program. So all those that would want help in those lines, you can send me a message. And one thing you should understand is that problems are different, like situations are different. So, and I can help you on a tailor base to address your situation, but these fundamentals still remain the same. So you just have to see how we can panel beat your situation and see how best we can actually help each other. So I've taken notes. So the request is you have to send me a message, not in the group, but a personal message so that I can take note of that. Then when I'm not responding to you, it's not that I don't want this, maybe because I'm attending to someone, but I'll always get back to you. Okay, I think that has been addressed. Then I've seen there's just a number here. You can speak, please. The number which ends 56. Then I think this is the last hand up. Then I'm going to allow the WhatsApp group for 2 days. So if actually not 2 days, I've got a problem with WhatsApp groups. People tend to send things that we don't intend to talk about. So if you have got a question, you have to send me the question personally. You have my number. If you paid, then you have my number. Then I'll be very happy to respond to you. Okay. The last hand is this one with 56. You can say, I don't know what name he is. And Banamwansa. Okay, Banamwansa. Okay, so let's start with the number 56. Then Banamwansa is going to be the last one. Then other questions, I'll be able to address them personally. You can send me a message. So I'm going to allow 2 hands. So there's the number ends with 56. Then Banamwansa. You can unmute your mic, then ask the question.
Sorry, my number ends with 56, and I've already asked my question.
Okay.
This is in Nkandu Chinzewe.
Okay, thank you.
So I thought maybe there was somebody else with their phone number ending with 56.
Oh, okay. No, there is another one here. Okay, you can go ahead, please.
Okay, good evening.
Good evening, sir.
I'm using a laptop. I think my name has not appeared. I'm Dr. Masafa. I'm working, in fact. Thank you very much for the presentation.
Thank you.
I think we'll address more questions on the personal conversation.
Okay.
But when you are giving highlighting the training, you talked about irrigation, but I've not seen. You have not really tackled it today. Probably we'll meet. Irrigation system. We are talking when we are doing like advert. You mentioned about irrigation, but today on the training you have not mentioned much. But I've got your point. So my other question is, those communication will be on an individual base. Is it going to be free? Or you charge, and your address, where is your farm? If you have to come for a visit for some hour, you have mentioned about consultation, but you have not specified how much it is, for how long. Those are the thing we need to know. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I think on irrigation, there's another that I'm sure that is in the bootcamp. This one was just to talk about how you can actually run your business, how you can stop running your business on the pocket. Maybe, I don't know, because irrigation is always in my head. Okay, then on the issue of the questions that you're going to be asking, you're not going to be charged to answer those questions. So we only charge people when we are called to work. So when you come to visit us, you learn here for free. You go around the farm, and the only way you can support us is to buy what we are selling. We're in Kafue. If you check, you can use the very number. I can send you a Google location. Even when you check on Google Map, just search for Organic Farm 7. Then you find us in Kafue. Then you come and see what I'm telling you. So it will be I'll be very happy if each and every one of you would visit us so that you can be inspired. Some of you have come. Okay. Then you can send me a message also and ask your questions. I'll answer them for free. You've already paid subscription. So Vana Mwansa.
Thank you very much. Good evening, Abel. This is Vana Mwansa from Kitwe.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a question. Yes. You've been to my farm anyway, and I'm expecting you to now bring the irrigation. I've been farming for a while from my pocket, and I think you know that. And I'm tired. I really need to. I'm really tired of farming out of my pocket, and I'm about to retire, so I really need to be a bit more focused. And I'm happy that in spite of farming out of my pocket, as an organic farmer, I think now I'm very settled in what I want to do.
Great.
And I'm settled in my organic farming life for the last 3 seasons. But I need to be making money.
Yeah.
I need to be making. So I think you have a bit of insight in what I want to do. But I wanted you to just give me a quick fix in terms of the short term.
Okay.
I think for the long term, I'm okay. I plant trees, but for the short term, I just wanted you to maybe advise me on what crops I can do in the interim, especially when we do the irrigation to make us raise the money. I asked on the platform, but I thought that maybe I'll be running out of time.
Okay.
Just 2 crops maybe, which I can really go in, put in good manure, put in a lot of water and reap something in the next 3 months.
Okay, so here's how I'm going to answer your question. The first thing before you grow your crop, you should understand the market. Not the past market, but the future market. That is number 1. The number 2, you have to identify a problem in your area. Let's say, for example, bananas may be selling here in Kafue, but they are not selling in where? In Copperbelt. So you have to identify. So you have to do a research. What products do people need? If maybe they need them in large quantities, but the thing is, a problem will help you know what to grow. If people are struggling with radish, they are struggling with tomatoes, with onion, it should be something that actually grows fast. If it is green beans, if restaurants there, they don't have lettuce, you identify a problem. And when you grow that product, you at least know that you've got people that can buy it. It's like, you see, you go to the village and you're selling fridges. They don't need the fridges. No matter how much you can market them, it's hard for the people to buy because they're not going to use them. It's not a need. So what I'm trying to say is pick on a crop that is actually solving a problem. It may be green beans, it may be lettuce, but situations are different. Like in the cities where they make a lot of, what is this? Maybe hot dogs, they're making shawarma, they need a lot of lettuce, but that may not be the case everywhere. So the key thing is doing a market research, establish the facts, identify a problem, then grow a crop that is going to solve the problems that people are facing. I don't know if that has addressed the question, but I think that is actually how I've seen things really work out quite very well.
Okay, thank you very much. Noted.
Okay, thank you so much. So maybe this one is going to be the last one, but I think for now we had said Banamuna says the last one, but Mr. Andrew is the man and we only had one man speak. We're going to allow him, but if it's too late for you, you can leave as I ask the last question.
I can.
Yeah, okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I really appreciate for presentation. It's so powerful and I've learned a lot because it's not easy to have such kind of mindset in Zambia. Many people, they are too selfish, like other panelists, they said, others, they can't share what they have, no matter how you pay them. And I think here, you know, the person who's talking, you one time visited us, Chongwe Farms.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I think,
okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to ask how to address this issue which we have here, because most of the market we have is Chongwe market. And then most of the time, whenever we take some goods there, they always wants to buy it at a low price. That's the only challenge which I've faced here, because I'm learning mommy. She's not around, she's somewhere else. Okay. So I'm trying to and I've just been here, I think 6 months, but I've already observed the challenges which are here. Yeah, okay. So I don't know how you
Okay. So that's a very important question. You say the challenge is people want to buy at a raw price. So number one, Mr. Andrew is you haven't yet found customers. Like I'll tell you, you know, as in for me, a customer doesn't have the right to tell me how much I should sell, what he doesn't know how much it costed me to grow. So when I said you have to do your marketing, you have to do your research, you have to market to the right people. When you go to the hospital, and they tell you to buy medicine, you don't say your medicine is expensive. When you go to buy Benz and you say, no, Benz is expensive, Corolla is cheap, meaning you don't know what you're buying. What am I saying? What I'm saying is when you identify your customers and you make sure that your product is that top quality product that is different from the rest, you are going to set the prices. You see, when you look at our location, many of you, like some of you have visited Organic Farm 7 before. As you are coming, you would wonder if there are people that are actually living behind the hills. But people actually come to the farm to learn, to buy things, and they don't complain even at all. So what am I saying? What I'm saying is you have to start finding people that appreciate what you're doing. If it is going to the offices, you see, you should get to the point whereby you start looking for what you want. Let's say, for example, you go to ZRA, you tell them, you talk to the boss, always aim for the boss. You talk to the boss for ZRA, you say, you see, boss, I'm growing vegetables and our vegetables are very tasty. So today I'm not going to sell you the vegetables, but what I want to do, I have a present for you. I want you to go and test our vegetables. You give it to the boss. When you knock the head, then everything is going to come crumbling down. So you tell him, then he tests your herb, your grapes, your fruits, your vegetables. He finds that they are more tasty than what is on the market. And immediately what is going to happen is you tell him, see, I have these vegetables, but I want to be supplying to your workers, maybe once or twice every month, every week, because people eat vegetables on a daily basis. So you have to be strategic. You take them, maybe you have got 20 workers there. If 10 are buying, you visit maybe 2, 3, 4 companies. You find that you have maybe 30 people. But you have to make sure that you grow. Maybe you are targeting 3 customers in a day. You find them. In the next 5 days, you've got 15 customers. And make sure that you service them so well. You give them the best. So these are just some of the ideas of finding customers. You will always find people that appreciate what you're selling. You say, nah, the rep for those other people doesn't taste good. So we want your rep. So it's about repositioning yourself, differentiating yourself, understanding who needs your product. When you are met with the people that need your products, they don't complain about the price. If you are dealing with people that are complaining about the price, they may buy, yes, but the fact of the matter is that they are not the right customers. A customer The customer that actually appreciates your product will give you the right price, and you're going to set the price. I think this has helped others also, apart from Mr. Andrew. I don't know if I've answered your question, Mr. Andrew, before we can say goodbye to each other.
Yes, you have. Thank you so very much. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. So this has marked the end of our training, and I'm so grateful for your support, your love, and I'm doing this out of love. Money is just, you see, if you have seen the content that I've shared with you, others will charge you even more, but I use that price to actually filter out people that are not serious. So it's just a way of actually filtering out, so that I can actually just concentrate to the people that are meeting up to something. But I think this is going to help you get started. And if a small boy like me, I'm only 30 years old, I turned 30 years old this year. If I can do something like this, many of you are older than me and you've got more experience, you are connected to more powerful people, you can do something powerful. All the people that surround you, they need something from the farm. So you should find a way to service those people, identify their problems, and also offer their solutions. Provoke them, like I provoked you to attend this training. And you're going to see at the end of the day, you are going to make some money. So the radical farmer is going home. He's going home with a 6,000 kwacha net for speaking on Zoom. And I think this will help you to actually do something. We've got so many people that need to reign in Zambia, and you can hold meetings like this. But before you do that, acquire some knowledge, acquire some experience, learn something, do something. Let people have where they can point fingers and learn something. So tomorrow I'm going to post something, and the favor that I want from you is I would want you to share your experience from this training, and it will be very helpful to me. And that's the favor that I'm asking from you. And I hope you won't charge me. So have a good night, and I'm wishing you the best. You are free to leave. You can just leave a comment there so that I can get to hear your feedback. I'll hang around for the next 5 minutes just to see that I actually hear your voice or hear it. Some of you are too shy to speak, but you can always write a message. So have a good night and have an organic one. So stay blessed, and wishing you the best in your farming endeavors. And I'm very happy to help you wherever you have got a problem. Reach out to me. Stay blessed.
Good night. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.
Hello, everyone. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Hangumba. It was a good meeting.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.